Hey there, you guys. This is going to be a celebrity twin flame love energy reading for the week of January 23rd through the 29th, 2017. All right, so I'm just going to shuffle the energies. I'll shuffle the cards to tune into the energies and see what messages Spirit has. Okay. Oh. Transformation. Patience. Moving on. Accelerated motion. Adjust this just a little bit so you can see the cards much better. And then I'm going to shuffle from this deck as clarification. All right. Okay, so let's see what the messages are this week for you. So we have transformation with creativity. So as your heart transforms, figuring out what it is exactly that you want to create in love and partnerships. It's like you have a broader perspective of what type of love you want, type of love you deserve, wish to experience or have in your life. You've gone through a lot of transformations. Specifically, a young woman, you're starting to see what you want in a partner based upon relationships that you've had. You're starting to come into your own due to these relationships. Starting to see what it would be like to create. It's like you're looking at things from a colorful perspective. You're young. You're fairly young. So, of course, you have your whole life ahead of you to experience these things. If you're looking for a serious bond and partnership soon, now would be the best time to still figure out what's in your heart, because you're still going through a transformation process of knowing what you want and also healing in the matters of the heart, learning to love yourself much more. Then you're going to attract much more deeper bonds rather than these superficial connections that you've been in. Next, you have the patience card, reparenting yourself. So this card is telling you to have patience with yourself still in this process. Like I said, you're still growing, okay? You're still going through lessons right now when it comes to yourself more than anything. You're having to reparent yourself, meaning you're having to nurture and love your inner child. You may be dealing with some inner child wounds still that you have to look at. Things that maybe have broken your confidence, your self-image of who you are, what you deserve. You know, not seeing yourself in the best image. It may go back to childhood. It may start with your mother. It may be things that you picked up along the way. You're having to have patience with this process in yourself, not to beat yourself up. Be patient and nurturing with yourself. The moving on card. So it's like you're moving on to bigger and better things now that you have a better understanding or more clarity of what it is that you want. This energy feels like a young woman, not even 21, but if it resonates with you, then of course the reading is still for you, but I'm feeling a heavy emphasis on a young woman, and you're moving on to bigger and better things. You may be moving away from a relationship or a partner, finally getting over someone, or just things that just don't serve you anymore because you know more of what you want. You're even, if you've always been into spirituality and yoga, meditation, I'm getting like Buddha. I don't know if you practice Buddhism, some of you. But if you've been working on that and maybe with that, you're visualizing a better future for yourself, and it doesn't include these things or these people anymore, and you're moving away from that. Your mind is shifting from those things, more focused on this colorful creation. Accelerated motion with life purpose tells me that the timing is right for you to focus on what your heart truly desires in this lifetime. So I get for you that you are a musician. You sing or something like that. You deal with music. That you're starting to see your path a little more clear, and you're wanting to follow your heart, or you're wanting to share music that's more heartfelt, maybe surrounding your experiences with love on a deeper level that will be healing to others, healing to the collective, healing universally, maybe releasing some, I'm getting SoundCloud, releasing music on like a small platform or social media or like some type of social site for music. I just got SoundCloud. That's going to be healing for you. Okay. For others, it will just be learning or seeing more clearly, like the path is much more clear now. I see what it is that I really want to do, and your heart is open to that, the truth of that. Okay, you're open to it. You're willing to share your love and your healing energy with the collective. You may want to travel the world. You may want to do some humanitarian work, working with people from third world countries. You want peace in the world. That's a part of your purpose. However it is for you, however you bring that in, that's essentially what you want. Okay, so I'm going to see if there's any more messages that Spirit has for you. And again, this isn't just for celebrities or authority figures. If you resonate with these readings, then it's for you. Because I know some people said they want to get into the business of entertainment and they still resonate. So it's for whoever resonates. Okay, so you're going through this process. As you do, you're learning to strip away things about yourself that you don't like. So it may be that you're facing and confronting these things in your life that are difficult to look at, especially when it comes to love and relationships. But you have a better understanding of what you want. You may feel like it's going to take some hard work to get that very thing that you desire or want when it comes to love, or it's just a shortage. For some of you, there's this energy of it's going to be a process, or it's going to be very difficult for me. Like, that's what I'm getting. Like, it's going to be like some type of game that I have to go through. I have to go through training, that I have to go through all of these steps to get there to win the prize. So for you, you're looking at it as an obstacle already, which is not necessarily necessary. It's not necessary for you to look at love as a game or some type of sprint or something, or some type of race that must be won or trained for. In a sense, you do have to train for it, but really it's working on self patiently and compassionately, by not judging yourself, rushing yourself, but looking at all of the things that may not be good for you, that don't stand. With the Tower card, there's some sort of structure that needs to be taken. For a lot of you, I feel like you are familiar with tarot. Some of you own tarot decks or something like that, I'm getting. So you're familiar with the energies or what they're meaning. Sometimes I interpret them differently than what their traditional meaning is, just based off of intuition. But I feel like for a lot of you, you're feeling like there's this hard effort that has to be put in to get this love that you desire, and it doesn't have to be that way. Others of you are conflicted by the fact that of status, whether I should have someone in the industry as my mates. And Spirit is saying that's not true. That you know that you don't have to have a partner that's in the limelight. For some of you, you choose not to show those partners for your own privacy and for that person's privacy, which is very understandable. Some of you feel like you have to be with someone to keep up the status quo, and that's not true. That's being limited. You're limiting yourself. For some of you, you are attracted to people that are not in the business, and you feel like something about that doesn't sit well with you. Like you're not totally comfortable with that for some reason. Men don't seem to have a problem with that. I'm getting it's not really the men that have issues with that. The men, authority figures or public figures, celebrities don't have a problem. It's the women. Because for some reason you feel like it's going to affect your image. Like for some reason it's going to ruin your image, how people see you. Like it's going to take away the attraction level that you have, the status that you have by dating these men that are necessarily not in the business. Like for instance, J-Lo, people kind of made a big deal out of the fact she dated one of her backup dancers and Mariah Carey, but those people are still in the business. These are people that have nothing to do with entertainment. And you feel like for some reason it's got a negative attachment to it. Okay? You're worried about dating a man that is not in that field or profession because of what people are. It's like you feel people are going to reject you or see you in a different light if you do this. You're not going to look as desirable or something like that. And that's not true. There's some men who may be attracted to women that are not in that profession either, and they may not be their type. Because a lot of men, celebrities date certain types of women who are not in the business, but they are around a lot of celebrities. They're, certain types of women. You don't feel like you mesh well or that you will mesh well or that you're even good enough to be with a woman who's not in the business, who's got some type of, I'm getting holistic, I don't know, like health, doctors or something like that, spiritualists, herbalists, I don't know, I'm getting something like with health and spirituality. Some of you are attracted to women like that, but you don't feel like you are good enough for that person or that the relationship will even be compatible. Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. It's a little bit of ego involved that's clouding your perception, making you believe that you wouldn't be good enough for that person because of the people that you surround yourself with. You feel like whatever type of person you have to bring around has to be flashy or just as attractive as you. So there's kind of a negative perception that you have, like, about that. Like, you don't feel like that person is going to be fun or that you'll be able to let loose with that person. And, that's just your assumption. It's not really true. And then there's that fear there that someone's going to use me for my money. That's in the back of your mind. And that's not true either. It's actually the opposite way. The opposite. The women that you're attaching yourself to now are actually these starlets or these hopefuls or these socialites that do want the limelight and do want that from you. The star card is that flashy female that you attract or that you are attracted to, that you have to worry about. These other women that you're attracted to, there's something beyond that you're not seeing. There's something in it for you that you're not seeing, and you're perceiving it all the way wrong. Spirit is saying. You're seeing it all the way wrong. And Spirit wants me to say that divine partnerships in Hollywood are very slim to none. You're not going to see a lot of divine partnerships in Hollywood. It's just a lot of smoke and mirrors. There's not a lot of true love there. That's what I'm getting. It's a lot of image contracts, just for, for the business aspect of it, for the success and the glamour. There's no love in these situations at all, if any. So you're not really going to see too many true love partnerships in Hollywood. None that are on display anyway. Okay. So for some of you that are doubting that you can have another partner, the thing the Spirit is trying to say is that you are regular people. You just have a different lifestyle. You have different privileges. So to think that souls cannot be connected because of status is kind of a limited perspective and a little bit immature to perceive that in that light. I get that Hollywood is changing. It's It's like something about Hollywood structure is coming down, and it has to. It's something about it. It could be used for something better, but the intentions behind it and where it's at right now is just these same cards keep coming out. It's devilish. It's all ego, and it could be there to help. The same cards are coming out, but it's being utilized in the wrong way. And the reason why some of you are being attracted to these soul connections, terms, soulmates, and twin flames and stuff like that is because there's something that's something about Hollywood's dynamic that needs to change. And it's like there's no true love on the big screen or in Hollywood or even, in the tabloids when you hear about celebrity couples. It's always some drama. It's always cheating. It's just weird stuff. And it's something about that needs the dynamic of love needs to change. The imagery of women needs to change. The imagery of men needs to change. It's like there's these egotistical, superficial, vanity perceptions of women and men, and we boost and uplift these figures that are vain, or they represent false reality, false beauty, false love, false friendships. Everything is superficial and fake in nature. And a lot of you are getting paid to present that image that may not necessarily be you, but you're being paid to present that image. And I feel like a lot of you are tired of that. You don't agree with it. You're being paid well. The same cards are coming out no matter how much I shuffle. But you're being paid for that. But it's just like, is this all there is to life? Is this all that is? You're tired of the same circles. I feel like Hollywood circles are getting small. We're dating the same people, dealing with the same people, and you're not going anywhere. You're not getting anywhere. And I feel like it's just a clutter and just this energy that feels suffocating and dark. And you're wanting to get away from that. You're looking for an outlet. Spirit is saying that you're limiting yourself because there's going to be a change that's going to happen due to these soul connections. We're on the path to get there. We all are on a path to get to who we're truly meant to be with, who and what soul groups we're meant to be in. And, I don't know too much about Hollywood. We all have our own perceptions. We have these Illuminati conspiracies and all this, devil worshiping crap and all that. And some of it, it might be true to an extent, but we don't really know the whole thing. And some of the Illuminati stuff is, misconceptions of that. The devil worshiping thing too, there's a little bit of smoke and mirrors with that. We don't really know the whole thing about Luciferians and all that. I don't want to get into that, but it's not all, they're not going to give it to you right the way it is. So you can't really trust everything you read and see on the internet. That's one thing. But I will say that, when it comes to love and relationships and partnerships, not just in Hollywood, but just on the planet, there's suffering. I have not seen a true loving couple in my experience, physically, in my life, in my surroundings. It's very rare. And I feel like there's a reason for that. And, in order for us to do what it is that we're meant to do on this planet, it starts within ourselves, the love within ourselves, before we can give it or receive it from anyone else. But at the end of the day, the energy of love, I believe, is the beginning and the end of all. Okay? It creates, it brings us together. It brings man and woman together to have sex and create life. Love is the beginning of all. Love, like they say, love conquers all, and it sounds corny, but that's the truth of it. All right. So that is your reading, you guys. I hope that this is helpful and you find it beneficial for anyone who's watching. And lots of love and light to you. Peace.